I'm sitting in front of my computer on a school night and I check the notifications. I have over 50 of them. What could they possibly be? I click it and it's over 50 assignments worth of homeworks that I haven't even completed yet. They're all late, they're months due, weeks due. I was always the type of person to always call myself a procrastinator and not get stuff done. No wonder I got average grades. No wonder I got below average grades. I'd even show up to do the homework. You see, I had this idea in my head that I was this procrastinator. I was this person who just waits the last minute and gets it done. But eventually down the road, I would procrastinate, and I just wouldn't get it. I wouldn't even do it in the first place. I wouldn't even do the assignments. What good would that do in the business world? What good would that do towards yourself, towards others? Procrastinating. How could someone trust you when you call yourself a procrastinator? How are you going to get that job when you're older? How are you going to run a business when all your employees know that you are a procrastinator, that's what you call yourself? Even when I went to college, I still didn't do the homework because I'm a procrastinator. I do it last minute. What good does that do for me? There's been 2 times in my self-improvement journey that I've had a massive breakthrough in my progress, my being disciplined. How did I do it though? From being a procrastinator in school and dropping out of college, how did I become this disciplined person? How did I become this person who made all this progress? Let me give you some context. I'm 6 months into self-improvement and I'm doing affiliate marketing and I haven't made any sales yet. No sales whatsoever. I'm working hard every single day, every single night. I'm working 40 hours a week. I'm staying up really late, sleeping in, just trying to get 1-2 videos out. I was basically building up social media brands and then selling a product for it. But after all those months, I couldn't make any progress and I didn't even know. I didn't even know why I wasn't making progress. So I eventually started looking into people like the Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca and Aristotle, even Miyamoto Musashi, even though he's not a Stoic. He's a person who's extremely disciplined. I wanted to be disciplined. I wanted to be that David Goggins discipline. I wanted to be that person who wakes up hella early and gets stuff done. But how do I do that? How did I shift from being a procrastinator and not getting any progress done to having a massive breakthrough in not just myself, but in the other areas of my life? After doing a lot of digging and researching these Stoics and how they lived and how Miyamoto Musashi lived his life, I wanted to adopt these types of characteristics. I wanted to adopt how these people thought and how they lived. So what I did was I said, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna be a Stoic. I'm gonna be disciplined. I'm a disciplined person. I'm a disciplined person. I am a Stoic. I started visualizing these traits and these things that I'm going to adopt. So the next morning, I woke up really early. I got a lot of work done. I continued this for a couple weeks. And eventually, I've had a breakthrough. I made 7 sales in 24 hours. I couldn't believe it. Just from one video I've made 7 sales. I didn't make that much money, to be honest, but to me, that is improvement. That is progress to me. A couple weeks later, no progress. A couple months later, no progress. Not a single penny, not a single sale yet. Again, I'm in a rut again. So what happened? What went wrong? What went right? In this video, I'll be going over topics from the book Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz, even though it's fucking inverted. You know what I'm saying? It's the book. But I'm going to be going over some things from this book that I've learned on how to change your self-image and how you can make a massive breakthrough and see massive improvement on your self-improvement journey. The 3 topics I'll be going over is your creative mechanism, your self-image, and the method I use to actually make some progress that I've used recently. A lot of the stuff I will be sharing are from the book Psycho-Cybernetics, so it's not from my own words, it's from the book that I've read. And I'll put a link in the description to Amazon if you want to go buy the book. It's not an affiliate link or anything, just if you want to go buy it, I suggest getting it from Amazon. The creative mechanism. Every living thing is built to survive. Squirrels are meant to hunt for nuts in order to survive. Birds are meant to hunt and make babies and feed their children and go hunt. But the big difference between a man and an animal is that a man, or men, or humans, have a creative imagination. You see, our creator, or what I call God, has really did not shortchange man. He gave man the ability to think consciously, to have this ability to create and imagine whatever he desires. And so with that, humans have the ability to choose their own goals and choose their own pursuits. All living things have one type of goal at all times. How this system works pretty much is used by positive and negative feedback. For example, if you have a goal and you know what the answer is to get to that goal, what this will do is as you go towards your goal, you don't know how to get there. So what will happen is you'll make errors, you'll make failures, and you'll gain some negative feedback on where to go next. You'll even gain positive feedback if you're getting closer and closer to your goal and you can kind of almost see it. Your brain will kind of operate like a torpedo and go towards that course a little bit more. Another system that the brain uses is called scanning. So imagine you're in a dark room and you begin to reach around looking for like a pen or a notebook. You start to feel around in the dark. You can't see anything, but you know it's there, but you're just trying to scan for it and grab it. What this pretty much is from is this is part of our brain. This one doctor, I'm not gonna quote the doctor, but what he did was he had this patient, and this is part of this brain, this small part of the brain where he touched the brain, and the person relived all the memories. Like he literally relived the experience. He could see it, he could feel it in his body, all the experiences from a certain memory. So in our brains, we all have our memories stored in this one part of our brain. And so what scanning really does is when you're looking for an answer, you pretty much scan your brain from past events and past experiences to really make up an answer. But how does this tie in with self-image? The next step is to understand your self-image. Your actions, feelings, and behaviors are always consistent with this idea of the self-image. How you see yourself. What does he think? What does he do? What are his behaviors? What are his habits? What does he do for work? These are the types of things that you have in your head of your self-image. Like, what do you do? How do you feel? What do you do all day? The problem that you are facing right now, and the reason that you are not seeing progress, is because your self-image is not capable of seeing progress. He's not capable of doing the things that he needs to do in order to make the progress. When I was doing affiliate marketing, I had a lot of positive feedback and mostly negative feedback, but it's the way I viewed myself that was the real problem. If you constantly think that you can't get anything done and you're a procrastinator, that's why I mentioned the story in the beginning. If you constantly think oh, I'm a failure, I'm not good at this, I'm not good at that, of course you're not going to be good at it then. For me calling myself a procrastinator, no wonder I had over 50 assignments due and my grades were below average. No wonder. Because I was a procrastinator. I took pride in that title. What you got to be aware of is when you're trying to create a self-image is be aware of the destructive mindsets and the limiting beliefs that society and social media and all these people tell you. You can't build a business. You can't become a millionaire. Just go to college and go get a job and go die and go fucking retire. That's what they tell you. In order to actually create this self-image though, you kind of need some justification or some reason for finding this self-image or becoming this version of yourself that you've always dreamed of. What I mean by that is, for example, when I was making videos, I wanted to always make a viral video, 1 million views. And so what I backed that up by was when I made videos that were 100,000 or 200,000. If I could do that, I can do 1 million views. It's just a repeated process of positive feedback, negative feedback, and scanning for the answer. Finally, the method that I use to actually propel myself forward and excel in my self-improvement journey is the method of visualizing. What I'm going to do is give you an actionable step, and what I'm going to call is a quest that you can do after this video or during this video is what I want you to do is sit down for 15 to 30 minutes a day. And this is from the book Psycho-Cybernetics. It tells you to sit down and start visualizing and start feeling and start vividly imagining your self-image, your future self, or the person that you want to be. How does he act? What does he do? What is he thinking? What does he do for work? All these types of things, you can kind of create a picture in your head. So what I want you to do after this video is either go do it or pause the video now and go do it now and then watch the video again. But what this will do, it's not gonna be a one-time thing either. You gotta do it over and over and over again. What I suggest you do is, instead of just wasting time in the middle of the day, before you go to bed, take some time to think while you're trying to fall asleep about this self-image, this person that you want to become. The one trick that you do need to actually get this method to work is one positive memory of you accomplishing something. In the book Psycho-Cybernetics, it mentions that if you can remember to tie your shoe, worry, etc., then this method can apply to you. So what you can do is you can think about a past experience that you remember that gave you joy and that gave you some type of fulfillment or some type of satisfaction. Yeah, some type of a feeling of accomplishment. And then apply that feeling to your self-image visualization. And then over time, you'll start acting as if you are that person that you imagine in your head. How I know this works is recently, the past couple weeks, I've been really trying to dive deep into who I really am. I always question myself because it's always good to question yourself, right? And so the person I was, I didn't really want to be. And so what I did was, before I went to bed at night, I'd always imagine myself doing these discipline acts, waking up early, being disciplined, having a good diet, being really hard in the gym. These types of things I imagined, and now I'm starting to see it like come into real life, like manifest itself into real life. You can apply this in pretty much any aspect of your life. I remember this one time, I've had the book for a while, but I haven't read it fully. Like for the longest time, I just didn't even read it. It was just sitting there. But I did read this chapter like a long time ago. And last year I went skiing with my buddies, and what I did the night before I went skiing, this is my first time skiing. The night before I went skiing, I started picturing and imagining myself skiing. Like literally like imagining like myself on the fucking skis and skiing. I watched a video of someone doing it, and I just imagined myself moving my body like that and trying to ski. And then the next day, the first time I went down the hill, I didn't fall. I went down, and it felt a little weird because obviously it's my first time, but it almost felt like it almost felt like natural, because the night before I was imagining, practicing in my mind. Even my one buddy said, like, you were actually better than I expected. I was like, bro, because I practiced in my mind the night before. How you can use this in other aspects of your life is if you're trying to get rid of a bad habit or you're trying to implement good habits. Like, let's say, for example, you're trying to quit porn and you're really struggling, you're relapsing every couple of days, and it really sucks. You want to feel like that person who just doesn't even care, who doesn't even do it. Well, then start imagining yourself like that. Before you go to bed at night, start telling yourself that you are not this person who does those types of things. You are not a person who falls victim to lust and temptation so easily. I've had a problem with this for the longest time. And let me tell you that doing this, visualizing myself and just putting that in my mind that this stuff can't hurt me. This stuff cannot affect me. I'm not the type of person to do that type of stuff. And it's worked. You can also apply this with getting girls as well. I started to notice that like when I picture myself as like a charming person, I tend to almost act more comfortable around girls, and I can almost easily talk to them more efficiently, make them laugh, make them smile, whatever. So if you really want to, if you have a girl at like work or school or whatever that you really want to go and talk to her, just start visualizing in your head as you as a charming person, you as a charismatic person. And then when you go out in public and when you go talk to people, you are this charismatic person. You are that person that you imagine in your head. I truly believe, if you believe it, that you can change your self-image into whatever you want. This can also apply in your work. When you're trying to get some work done, let's say, for example, you're trying to build a business, you start imagining in your head, I am a type of person who is disciplined, who can build a business. And you start doing this a couple nights, start visualizing in your head, you'll start acting as if you are the person who can build a 6-figure, 7-figure fucking business. It's crazy how no one talks about these concepts because it really is so strong if you know how to control your mind and actually use it to your advantage. In the gym, I've recently started envisioning this. What I started envisioning is like myself in the gym going really hard. I want to start going away from doing strictly weight training and just going into like hard like resistance cardio type workouts, like 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, run a mile. Those types of workouts I kind of want to do. And I can almost imagine myself like all like lean, shredded, all cut and stuff, like breathing heavily. I'm the healthiest I've ever felt. I can almost imagine myself being that type of person. And the more I think about it, the more I just want to just get out there and do it even more. If you're really struggling to get out of a rut and you're really stuck trying to propel yourself forward in your self-improvement journey, I truly believe that these tactics can help you. If you have anything, go rewatch the video or go purchase the book. It's in the link in the description or whatever, and go buy the book if you really want to know how to do it. I think these lessons are really powerful and they can really impact how you see the world and how you can look at different things, because you can also apply this in anywhere else in life. If you want to become a better person and you want to be more loving and caring, you got to start seeing yourself as that type of person. And then boom, a couple days later, a couple weeks later, you start acting like that person. See, what you have to do is kind of get rid of yourself from yesterday, get rid of your past self and create a new. This is something that this is something I kind of came up with myself in my own head, is like, when I'm trying to change and make a big change and make a big leap, or trying to change my personal self-image, it's really important to get rid of your old self, get rid of that ego, get rid of your identity, and just create a new. You can always change. You can always take that leap towards being a better person, towards being a more hardworking person. All it takes is a little bit of thinking and a little bit of belief and faith. So what you have to do is just get rid of the person who you were yesterday. Let go of the person in your head that you were yesterday, or that you were an hour ago, and just start right now. You are a new person. You can do amazing things. And with that, I want to give you a reminder to keep moving forward.